Well, hello, and welcome to our flashcast. We've got two lovely people from Morgantown High School, and they're going to introduce themselves. So go right ahead.
My name's Carter Redelman. I'm a junior at Morgantown High School.
Awesome.
I'm Preston Householder, and I'm a senior at Morgantown High School.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the Splashcast. I'm James Miller, and I am the guy that runs Swimwv. So let's talk about like the Morgantown boys swim team, shall we? So what is we're about ready to hit championship season. You guys got your conference championships coming up. You've got regionals and states coming up. Kind of what is the mindset, or what are we thinking about? Do we think we're gonna be dominant state champions? Or are we just trying not to finish last in the state? What is the what are we thinking about? What are the guys' team thinking about? I'm sure it's somewhere in between.
Preston, do you want to go?
Sure. I don't think a lot of us are thinking really that far ahead about how we're wanting to stand towards the end of the year. A lot of the boys that we got this year are either newer or they weren't here for a year due to COVID. So I feel like it's mostly just about trying our best and putting everything out there.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's not bad.
Oh, no, it's okay.
But we just have a lot of new swimmers, so we can't really tell what direction we're going in as of right now, I feel like. But definitely putting our hearts into it for sure.
Now, what about you two? You two have obviously swam for quite a few years, Morgantown team. Is there what sort of individual goal did you set for yourself? Is it more of like, I'm going to drop 40 seconds, or are we going to be looking for medals? Like, talk about like what your individual mindset is for regionals and states.
I'm definitely just wanting to do my best this year. I want to try and drop time in my events. I definitely feel like I can. I just have to put in the work for it.
Yeah, I agree with that. For me, I've improved a lot over the last year and a half. So I feel like I'm in a position to like make top 3 in my event that I specialize in. So definitely I want to do my best at states.
Awesome. Now let's talk about you guys outside of the pool. I'm sure there are things outside of the pool that both of you are good at. I know, Preston, I saw you at a show choir competition, or your parents at a choir competition beforehand. That was like the first time that like I went somewhere and I got recognized in public for being like the Swimwv guy. So, but you don't have to answer that. Tell me what do you guys do? Well, obviously you guys swim for hours and hours and hours on end, but what do you do outside the pool talent-wise that maybe is something unique about each one of you? And we'll start with Preston first.
Well, I don't really do much else except for swim. I know that there's a few hobbies that I like to do. I wouldn't say talents. There's always the simple, I like to play video games whenever I don't have schoolwork or swim to be working on. I like to collect coins. I'm a lifeguard. I have a job.
It's so cool that you collect coins. I don't know. I just always found collecting fascinating. I never collected a single coin in my life. Is there like, what do you look for whenever you collect coins? I know this is completely off topic, but you know, what do we look for whenever we collect coins?
I'm not too far into it to really look for anything that is worth value. So I usually just look for quarters or pennies that have unique backs onto them, like the tail ends.
That's so fun. So what about you, Carter? What are you? What is some of your outside of the pool interest, hobbies, talents?
Well, for me, I like art and like being with friends a lot. This picture right here I drew really got me into art in sixth grade. I made that in sixth grade and just really like put me into art. And I've done that a lot. I drew portraits for my friends a lot. So really enjoy art and maybe want to go into like teaching stuff like that. So definitely something with art and kids.
That's awesome. Now, did you say you drew portraits of people?
Yes, I have.
So if I go to an amusement park, you're going to be one of those people that draw me at the amusement park?
No, I'm not a cartoonist, but I take more time than like 5 minutes.
That's
You won't
cool.
find it.
Now let's talk about, is there something cool that you all do for regionals or states that's just like Morgantown, like a Morgantown swimming tradition? Because Morgantown's one of the older teams that have been that have been swimming since like the state meet first happened. So is there some sort of traditions that Morgantown High School has that's been passed down, or any cool meet stories that you guys have? Let's talk about that for a second.
Preston, do it again.
Yeah, I can go. Usually after regionals, I think the girls already talked about this, but we like to go to Drovers.
Yeah.
And we collect all the regional times. What is that for? We collect all the regional times and find out who's going to states while we're at Drovers.
Oh, okay. So we go to Drigglers. I still gotta figure out where this place is. I've never been to Brook. So you're at Drigglers, and you're on Swimwv. You're looking up all the times, all the regions, and trying to figure out where you fill in as you're eating like ice cream and French fries.
I love the food. It's amazing. Didn't it used to be like a little bed and breakfast or inn? Yeah. And it's still got it in that like shape. So one thing that I usually like that happens is the parents will basically be gathering around a single phone that is able to get to the website, writing down what they can.
Awesome. Do you have anything? You have anything with Carter? Do you have anything to add to that one?
No, not really. We go to Grovers every year. I wasn't really involved my freshman year, but it's really fun to go to Grovers.
Now, Preston, I've always I've had like siblings before on a team. What's it like having like your sister swims, correct? From Morgantown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you saying
Oh
something?
no, I was gonna say what was it? What's it like swimming with your sister and your dad as the coach now? Like you've got like not only you got your sister swimming on the team, but you have your dad coaching. Like what's it like? Is it like a one big happy family, or is there something that you're like, oh my gosh, my sister's swimming again? Let's talk about like just having your family always around like Morgantown swimming.
Well, we've always been like that, even since my freshman year. They were always helping and involved. But now that my sister is swimming, it is a little awkward, especially when at swim meets, she'll leave me in the dust.
I thought you were gonna say that she was gonna say some like she was gonna hear some weird name for you, like Buki or whatever she used to like call you whenever you were little. That's what I thought you were going with that.
That would be a whole lot less embarrassing.
Um, so now if I've asked everyone this, what if you guys could dominate one sport that wasn't swimming, what sport do you think it would be and why?
You want to go ahead, Carter?
Oh, well, I feel like just being weird. I feel like polo, like horse polo, like whacking a ball off a horse would be fun to dominate.
That would be a really cool sport to dominate. Like, and it would take a lot. Like, you would have to make sure that your horse person would be really good.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
What about you, Preston? What sport do you think you would dominate if it wasn't swimming?
I don't know if I would dominate, but my dad used to do football and basketball. I've really been an avid fan of basketball, especially for the last few years. So I would hope that I would be able to play a little bit.
I'm the worst basketball player ever. Like, I can play defense and do nothing else. So I'm always jealous of all the. I think that's why I like watching basketball, because everyone's really good at it. And so now you guys are like you talked about how your team is kind of younger, and you two have been swimming on the Morgantown team for a little while. Is there certain little tidbits of advice that you give to the younger swimmers on your team that like help them get motivated, or like what sorts of things do you tell like your underclassmen or first year swimmers that show that you guys share?
I can go on this. So for me, like I know I'm not the fastest like that's gonna be in the pool, so I like tell them, hey, don't like worry about what others swim. Like focus on your own race and like focus on how to improve yourself rather than like worrying about other competitors.
What about you, Preston? What do you got? What sort of advice do you usually give your teammates that just starting out?
Well, I don't like using the word teammates because that would single out just people from MHS.
Sure.
I usually like to cheer on anyone and everyone in the pool, make sure that they know that someone's there. One thing that is usually a common issue, like Carter said, is they get really anxious and they think about everyone else in the pool and they stop thinking more about just swimming their own race. So I'd say most of the time it's just a lot of reassuring them and letting them know that swim really isn't that type of sport where everyone's looking for an edge over the other. It's more like teams, but it's just for scores. After
Right.
that, everyone for everyone.
All right, and I did this to Frankie the other day, and I'm going to do this to you. I don't know if you've all seen. Sometimes I have way too much time on my hands, and B, I wanted to tell you all this. So and you guys I just want you to give your honest reaction to this. So I put out something on my site. It's brand new. It's like lots of mathy stuff. And on this one, I have that of all of the swimmers, Carter in the state of West Virginia. I didn't do this for the girls because I don't have that done yet. But so Carter, according to like averages and how close you are to the top times, you are like the 16th ranked swimmer in the state of West Virginia, according to average. You can look at the site and say this. And Preston, you were like the 31st. So let's talk about like, does that mean anything to you? Do you look at the fact that you're like a certain percentage away from top times and that's what motivates you, or it's just whatever to you? I'm just curious.
Preston, do you want to go?
You can go ahead.
All right. So for me, like I'm not really like looking at other swimmers as much. Like I mentioned before, like swim your own race and like focus on yourself. But like I sometimes I do look at top times. But I know for me, I'm more focused on like one or two races rather than an average. So it really doesn't like it really doesn't like enter my mind that much. But I get it. Yeah, totally.
Um, I just find it really amazing to be able to even be seen as like in the top anything. I don't really think too much about times when it comes to races because times are just numbers and they usually can only show like a mixture of talent and work and sometimes for me, I just want to know that I left everything in the pool.
That's a good answer. I need like 20 swimmers like you on my team that like have that same attitude. Love that attitude. So you are have both of you swim club? This is have both of you swim club before or swim club?
Yes.
So I don't know why I asked that because you could have a favorite high school set too. But what is your favorite swim set that you have ever had? Favorite swim set?
I don't know if I have a specific favorite, but one thing from club that I've always loved or I've always at least done well in is more distance uh, practices where we work more on uh, pace for things like the 500, usually by doing like several 300s, stuff like that. I feel real, I wouldn't say fast, but it feels more smooth to swim through the set.
So my favorite set is completely opposite to Preston. We are opposite swimmers. He is more distance and
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Thank goodness for the magic.
can hate me for this.
Thank goodness for the, all right. You're gonna have to say that one again. Thank goodness for the magic of editing. I can actually edit this. Not a big deal. You're about ready to say, just start your answer again, and I'll make sure I edit this. Yeah.
All right, so me and Preston are opposite swimmers. He's distance, I'm a sprinter. So for me, I like to stick to hundreds and 200s. So I like test sets a lot, like swimming a hard 50, a hard 100 once every 3 minutes, doing that kind of stuff. And I know also another one of my favorites, Preston and the girls will hate me for, is a sink set. 850s on a minute. I love them. I don't know why, but they're great.
You're a sprinter, that's why. And Preston, you could just put Preston in the water for about 5,000 yards, and he'll just be happy. So let's talk about. Do you guys have a favorite like swim memory? You guys have been swimming for forever. Is there like between club or high school? Do you guys have like just like that favorite swim memory?
Mine goes a little bit further than club and high school. The assistant coach for high school for the last few years has been Coach JC. And while even before high school and club, I knew him from a summer league swim club called MUAC. And I mean, it was amazing whenever I first found out my freshman year that I was going to be swimming with him again, because, I mean, he was the very first for me.
And for me, one of my favorite memories is racing my brother my freshman year. So I've only been swimming since my freshman year. And my brother was a senior at the time, so going against him was fun. And then another one of my favorite in 100 bag, because I really like proved to myself that, hey, I can do this. Hey, I can compete and be good at this sport. So those were two of my favorite times.
Now, do you and your brother, do you guys like compare times? Like, oh my gosh, you were better, or did you like almost beat your brother, and that was like a big day for you? Like, how competitive is like your family? I've always been fascinated by like family, sibling things. Carter.
So me and my brother are pretty competitive. Like I said, freshman year was my first time swimming, or first year swimming. So he was a senior, of course, and like beat me a lot. So and then I started club after my freshman year, so beginning of sophomore year. So once I broke a minute, I sent it to him. I sent my time to him, and he never broke a minute, or he broke it once. So I tell my times to him all the time and brag about it. So totally.
I feel like that's what I would do to my brother if I had one. I feel like I would absolutely like send a time that way. Well, I want to actually thank both of you for coming on to the Splashcast. I hope it wasn't too intimidating for you, and I look forward to seeing both of you at the States. I'll be calling it again, and I look forward to seeing you, and I'll maybe wave from the stands, or you might see me in the pool deck.
All right. Thank you.
You all have a good day.
You-
Awesome.